Did it pop up on it?
No, it just says going live. Right here. It says live, but
Okay.
click it.
Mm-hmm. Now we can have conversation with everybody.
Is it muted? Is that why this little mute button is on?
Yep. Don't worry about that one. Okay.
One. Watch.
Welcome you to the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions and messages can be raw, real, and at times very uncomfortable and even controversial. We highly encourage all of our guests and
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday. Is everybody awake yet? It's not 5 a.m. That's the good thing.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I gotta adjust this just a little bit.
This is what happens when we're live.
This is what happens when you're live. How's it going? I don't even know who's on. Anybody watching?
No, but I thought it was funny you pointing at me in there.
Did I point at you?
Yeah, you did. You did. So how do you know we're live? Tell us about how all this works. Because welcome to our mobile studio.
Yes.
This is how we do things right now in lockdown. And it's kind of crazy.
So, the way this works is we have an app that we just got about 2 weeks ago. So we're able to do things a little bit more mobile.
Let me have your glasses while you're talking.
They're dirty.
Yeah.
So we have this app that we do now that we're able to do mobile and actually be able to create videos and all kinds of. Hey, Annette, how you doing? Not sure who else is on. If you're on, comment because we're live. Like we're live.
Live. Like real live. Ow, we're real live.
We're here. So
my white hair is in the way. So.
So anyway, when we were at the church, when we were doing stuff at the church, we had a little section and we'd set up and tear down and set up and tear down and set up and tear down, and we were doing everything. Wasn't very efficient. I will say that it wasn't efficient, and so since we've been on, what is it called? Stay at home, stay in place.
Quarantine.
Quarantine, stay in place. We've had to adjust how we're doing things. Be more effective and streamline stuff, and so we're now in a room at our house that has been slowly being converted into a studio.
And this is actually the
second room.
The second room. We did a first one, and it was too small. So now we in a bigger one. So now we can do more things, and we haven't done that yet. But it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. So we're making adjustments and just doing all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah.
So now we're able to go live and be live and actually conversate with you. So if you're watching or tuned in, you can say hey, and we can actually say, hey, how you doing? And so what does she say? Shelter in place.
Shelter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You state of
you.
Texas employee. You essential personnel.
Essential personnel.
Yeah, but what
That-
I know.
that
Tell
meme?
me about it. Tell me. I was gonna.
So I saw this meme yesterday that said, it says, I'm an essential employee, but you can call me Esse.
I was like,
I'm
that's
essential.
me.
I'm essential, but you can call me Esse.
Thank you. We did it just for you, since
Just
you're
for
an
you.
essential worker and you're there bored out your mind.
Working from home.
Yeah.
I have to wear my glasses to be able to see this, man.
Okay, I'll read it to you.
Oh, okay,
No, I'm
okay.
just teasing. I'm not knocking you. I wear glasses too. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
So what are we talking about this morning?
So, I would say that we're actually talking about several things. First of all, happy Stimulus Day. Stimulus check day.
Stimulus check day.
It's not even it's not even tax day today. Yeah.
They moved it back, so now it's get my money.
Yeah.
More
Get-
money,
I want-
more money,
No,
more.
it's, I want my money and I want it now. Right?
Somebody's commercial.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that I thought it was únicas, las únicas. Is it unitas? I don't know. I'm not from the hood.
We're
so
reading
I wouldn't
comments,
know,
so
yeah.
if you're tuning in and watching, let us know you're watching. Anyway, so
Okay.
what are we talking about?
So anyway, we are talking about really, this is going to be totally different from last week. Because last week we were in a house full of grandkids.
You were in a rampage last week.
Yeah, and it was
Oh my
just
goodness.
like loud, and it was hot, and the studio was cramped, and it was small, and we were just learning. And so we were I was going out of my mind. It seemed like stir crazy or whatever. So today we're really just talking about, what did we say? No, depending on God, right?
Oh yeah.
And really just talking totally on the other side of what we were talking about last week. And just saying that, I was telling him that, today is supposed to be stimulus check day. So if you get one, power to the people. And if you don't, then you need to do some serious praying, because they said everybody was going to get one. I love my mom and dad, because shout out to mom and dad. But
Mom and Dad, what up?
yeah, my mom texts me like at 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, shouldn't you be asleep?
I got my money.
Yeah. Go rain check. Go rain check.
What do they call it? No, somebody called it the. Probably get some feedback off of this one, but someone called it your Trump check.
Oh.
Go Trump check. Go Trump check. Well, we had the Obama check too. So I mean,
Obamacare. Oh yeah, we did get one from Obama. I think
Yeah.
it was $500.
I don't know what it
Now
was.
this time it's $1,200.
Every president wants to give out money. So
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, hey, as long as your face ain't on that dollar, we good. So.
So anyway, we're talking about what?
Depending on God versus depending on that check and waiting for that check, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I mean?
We just kind of.
We're throwing it around because
Yeah.
only because we said today was Happy Stimulus Check
Stimulus
Day
check
and not Happy Tax Day. Because today everybody was usually giving tax breaks and giving a donut and giving free coffee, to get off your stress level or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I think God told me this one time, because my dad really spoiled. I think most dads spoil their daughters, but I think my dad, and he still is this way to some point, not to me, middle child syndrome, but he does do
my
that.
alarm.
Oh, hold on.
Is that my alarm? That means I've got to get up and do a podcast. We're live. Excuse us for a commercial break.
Yeah. Pause. Just kidding. And we're back. So, I was just, every time we got into a pickle or every time we got somewhere, I would always say, Dad, I need some money. I need you to bail me out. And God was like, listen, that can't always happen. But you can, rely on me. That's what God was saying. It's, in God we trust, or in Dad we trust. And that's really the thing.
That's funny. In Dad we trust.
Yeah.
Well, if he's your father, I guess it would be in Dad you trust.
Well, not your earthly dad, but your heavenly Father.
Right.
Right? So that's the thing we have to ask ourselves today on this happy stimulus check day. Are you depending on that, and are you surviving on that, or are you saying, God, provide for me? And especially those who live paycheck to paycheck, that's a big thing. I mean, we had 4 kids, but we had 7 or 9 at every time. Or as my daughter would say, I got 8 kids, knowing she's only got 3. But she would always say that, how am I gonna make it, with all these kids? And we told our kids all the time, you gotta believe for it. You gotta pray. You want a laptop? You better pray for it. There's 12 of us, even though there wasn't 12 of us. But
sowing seed and believing God for what it is, the extra things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times what we do is we believe God. It's kind of, I don't know. We believe God is that a piece of lint?
Yeah.
We believe God for things that I don't think that we necessarily should believe God for. In other words, there are some things that God's going to provide for us already.
Like the manna?
Because he said he's going to provide for us. But then I think there's things that we want or desire or
that are not necessities.
that we
Only
have
go
to,
out for your necessities. And a laptop is not a necessity unless you don't have one.
Yeah, so that we have to sow seed for, or believe God for. I think he says that he'll provide all of our needs. Mm-hmm. But I think in today's society, I think we mistake our needs.
No, our
wants for needs. So the things that we want, we mistake those for needs, and we don't necessarily need those things. I remember when we first got together, you're like, I need this. I was like, well, you don't need that. Yes, I do. I need this, and I need that, and I need this for the kids, or I need this for this. And I'm like, we don't need all that, And I think what we do as believers, sometimes we think that, and I say believers, just people in general, we think that the wants that we have are needs, and they're not. They're not needs. We don't need Wi-Fi. We don't need cable. We don't need. I mean, if you want to get really serious and down to the nitty gritty, we don't need electricity. We don't need water. Those are all really luxuries. I mean, Adam and Eve weren't running on TXU.
You right that. You so right.
They didn't have Waco water.
Yeah.
And so I think when you look at what we feel like needs are, I don't think God is obligated. This might cause some controversy. I don't think God's obligated to provide electricity, water, and gas for us. I think those are extras. We don't need to have those things to live. We didn't have those things when God created everything. There was no electric company. There was no water company. There was no gas company. There was no heat company. There was no AC company. We didn't have all that. And everybody,
HVAC.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that in those days. And so, well, we're not living in those days. Well, I understand that, but when God says that He's going to provide for us. It's kind of like our kids. When you have kids you're raising up, they think that if they don't have the next new thing, that they're not being provided for. Like if
go to school. Are you being provided for?
No, exactly.
Why?
Like,
I don't have Wi-Fi.
I don't have an Xbox, right? I don't have a Switch or whatever. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I think as believers and as people that follow Christ, I think we get in that mode to where we think that. Those wants are needs, and they're not, and so this is kind of going back to the stimulus thing. So like, I think that a lot of times we got all excited because we're in a place where we're like, man, I'm not working, I don't have income, I've been put on furlough, or I've been laid off, like whatever your situation is, and I think that we think, well, I need that stimulus check, or I need that extra income, or I need this, and for me, and you know this, and people that know us know this, we've never, for me, I mean, I say you, but us as a couple, I guess, we've been living by faith so long.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not bragging on myself, I'm more bragging on God. I got some lint picking at me.
I know, sorry.
Been trusting God and believing God and living by faith for so long, that when all this took place, nothing about
Changed.
my situation or about our situation really changed that much. So for us, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, we're not.
Yeah.
There's no money. Oh my gosh, we don't have any. We're not getting. Like for us, it was just kind of like, wow.
Okay.
Okay, so
What do we do
we're
now?
we're just gonna believe God, for a little bit extra to provide, for where you're working and doing, where you were at. But as far as us going like freaking out and having anxiety, I personally can't relate to that today. Now you take me back 15, 20 years ago. Oh, I was all in that. Like I was like,
Yeah.
so I understand what it means to have a little stress. I understand what it means to have anxiety. I understand what it means to be concerned where your next paycheck is going to come from.
Thank you for worrying about all of us. Okay.
No, I mean, so I understand that. So where people are at, I understand that. But I'm saying for us, when you have that lifestyle of faith, when things like this happen, it didn't really affect us, And I know some folks are like, you have to have a emergency fund and 3 to 6 months worth of.
I was going to talk about that.
Money.
That's Dave Ramsey,
Yeah.
by the way.
Have that money provided or set aside, and we've done that and we've had that, but still I feel like we live more by faith on a normal regular basis, that this whole situation didn't really affect us too much emotionally or mentally. It stretched our faith a little bit more, but as far as going, having that anxiety and all that, I'm not saying it didn't come, but it didn't last very long because I was like, this is familiar.
Yeah.
Right. This is familiar to us. So it was just more like, okay, well, we're just going to, let's keep going. Let's do more church because we have more time.
Yeah, and there are people, and that is the Dave Ramsey concept, is baby steps and having a savings.
Yeah.
And then the next step is having 6 months worth of bills already saved up. Everybody else is like, yeah, okay. But there are actual people that I know that have that and have a year of their funds already stored up. So if something like this happened, not that they knew a natural disaster was coming. Now I'm going to get real spiritual on you for a minute.
Go.
Well, I am because, I even told our church.
Can you hear the trucks in the background?
Yeah.
Y'all probably can hear the trucks in the
Yeah,
background. We're live.
Yeah. Hi, Gil, if you're back there, because we probably saw you somewhere back there. Usually he honks when he drives by, so. But I will say that, even before all of this happened, and this is going to switch this entire podcast, but saying that I was thinking about this because God really dropped that in my spirit that something was going to happen in February and it was going to affect me and the church. And I remember saying that from the pulpit on that day of our anniversary. And I
remember that.
Yeah, and I didn't think that I'm beating myself up because I didn't take that warning and I didn't look for something that was coming. I didn't know what it was.
I don't think you interpreted it as a warning.
I didn't. And it just made me think about those things, That was just God saying, get ready, And I think we even spoke with somebody about it, some pastors, and we were like, yeah, we got to get things in place. Something's about to happen. We didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was going to be like this. But now I'll flip it back. So last night, or maybe, I don't know, I couldn't go to sleep. And I was thinking about it this morning. And maybe I started dreaming about it because I was thinking about it, but I was like, you were right. I was thinking about us being in this house. What would we do if it got down to brass tacks and nails where, there is no more electricity, there is no more water, and this is apocalyptic stuff. I love apocalyptic things, but just saying, what are you going to do when there's no more water? What are you going to do when there's no more electricity? It always makes me think of the Bruce Willis movie. What is the name of that movie?
I'm not sure which movie you're talking
The
about.
one where they're all in the beds and they have the headphones on, and then the whole electricity goes off and they break the internet, and then everybody comes out of these helmets and they all walk outside like, oh my God, there's a real world going on out here.
Oh, I can't think of the name of the movie.
You'll think of it in a little bit.
Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, so it made me think of that because we're all, at home. We're all on the Wi-Fi. AT&T is not cutting your phones off for 60 days. You're getting unlimited streaming. Everybody's offering all these free, upgrades to your cable and this and that.
Yeah.
And not to make anybody think we're silly or anything, and we're over here storing up DVDs and bringing a DVD player. You know, we're like, y'all finna break the internet with all y'all fools on the internet. I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to call y'all that, but I'm just saying, you know, everybody's on the internet, and we're like, we're thinking ahead of the game, you know, and we're like, okay, all right, what are we gonna do? Well, you know, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen next? How long are we gonna be on this? And, you know, thinking outside the box, not thinking about right now, happy stimulus check day. You know, what am I gonna do with my rain check? You know, and my cousin even said, and I think it was hilarious, but he was like, some of y'all need to hang on to that stimulus check, because you don't even know where you're going to be in 30 days. You might be celebrating, you might not be, you know, and some of you are like, I got to pay every bill so that I'm sitting good. What are you going to do in 30 days?
Yeah, and I think it's like some of you were talking about collecting DVDs and VHS tests, because not
VHSs.
What are they? Oh,
DVDs.
Okay. Well, I don't know what you were collecting. Anyway.
I mean, I could do a VHS.
Well, I know you used to you had a VHS fetish there for a while, man.
I did. I got rid of them, guys.
But I think for us, it was in terms of thinking that, you know, we don't have to have Wi-Fi. We don't have to have cable. Like if we need to get that, if we need to let that get cut off, it's going to get cut off, because that's not a need. Yeah. It's not a necessity. It's a
clearly a haircut is not necessity.
You know, so I think in where we're at, I think looking at how we use that extra money, because somebody posted on social media the other day that, you know, they say when you get your stimulus check, don't forget to pay your bills. It's not extra money.
Yeah, it's to pay your bills or to provide food for your house.
Because a lot of times I think this is what they were talking about, is that a lot of times people will get an extra chunk of change, whether it's income tax or they'll get some kind of money, and instead of stewarding that money, they'll use it to go do all the things that they didn't get to do or they wanted to do. And so
that they're not working,
sorry,
or that Disneyland's closed,
right? So and then whenever a situation comes, then they're hurting, right? So then they're like, man, I shouldn't have bought this, and they're trying to go sell whatever it is they bought, or try to get their money back, or whatever that looks like. And so
don't tell people I returned something.
So I think, you know, in this time of, you know, folks getting their stimulus check, or even their unemployment, or whatever it is that you're getting funds from, I think it's probably the best to be mindful that even though they're delaying the phone bills, even though they're delaying being your mortgages, your student loans, like even though those things are, and I'm using the word delayed because that's what they're calling it. It's delayed. It's not like you get a free pass and you don't have to pay.
You got to pay that.
They're still gonna pay, because I know that when you called about, I think it was our electric or something, they told you,
No, that was the water.
Oh, that was the water.
That was the water.
And so, you know, they were saying, well, yeah, we can hold the water payment for the month, but next month you're going to have to pay this month and the following month. So it's going to be twice. It's going to be twice or three times if you don't pay it. And so I think a lot of people are not thinking that. They're not really realizing that the bills are still there. It's pause, right? Mm-hmm. They're on delay. They're paused. And I think we can find ourselves in a really bad situation if we are not mindful and being good stewards over what we're getting. And I think that's where we have to lean on, depending on God, to provide
versus
our needs.
Depending on the stimulus check.
Yeah, and you know, to provide for our needs and not a stimulus check.
Yeah. Right, and our needs, not our wants. And we've talked about this before too, you know, needs versus wants. You know, you need.
Is that my alarm?
Yeah. What is wrong with that alarm?
I have no idea. We're on live.
I was just gonna say, you need water. You don't need a haircut.
Oh, we went off. I'm sorry, I freaking didn't.
Yep. You've got to turn your alarms off.
I didn't mean to. We're back on.
And we're back, just like that. And if we had been recording mobile, this would have been cool too.
Our alarms, I think we were wrapping up anyway, but anyway.
Yeah, we really were. But we wanted to be able to say bye to you. We didn't want you to be by yourself or anything like that and leave you hanging. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is what happens when you go live.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, my alarm went off on my phone because I forgot to put it on whatever mode. I don't know. Anyway,
She can hear us, but she can't see us.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We're still live. We're just.
So why can't we go back to video?
Well, we don't see it here.
Oh.
It'll catch up. This is delayed.
Oh. Okay. Can you see us now? Can you see me now?
We should be on by now. Are we on? Did we come on?
I don't know.
I don't know. Black screen talking.
Yeah. I hope you can see us. This is
know.
what happens when you're not in a studio.
When it's not pre-recorded.
Oh.
We're like live.
Well, normally we're doing like 5 a.m. and or 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. or whatever.
What did she say?
Still can't see you.
Hey, we're there. We're back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
She's like, okay.
People are watching like, what's going on?
What is happening? See? Talking about electricity. They're already pulling it from us. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, so we were just basically saying if you're just tuning in or if you're, because we are live. So if you want to know what happened, that's what happened.
Go back and watch the video and we disappear.
Yeah.
You can hear us and we disappear. Here, not here. Here, not here.
Anyway, but we just wanted to say that you need to really be depending on God in this time and training yourself. Is that really the thing? Because the difference between a need and a want are two different things. And we've talked about this before. You need water in your house. You don't need Wi-Fi to live. You need air to live. You don't need a car because you can get around. Yes, it makes it convenient, but the bus picks up in front of my house so you can ride the bus.
It's funny because I think we take our wants and conveniences and we make them needs.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Anyway, so man, I don't know if you're watching this later or you're watching right now. This was live.
Yeah.
Like live. So
I like that.
if you
I like that I can see comments and that I can talk to you and be like, oh, did I get that song wrong? Let me hear it. Type thing.
So I like live.
I mean, there wasn't any music, but there aren't any kids screaming either. So
I know. Imagine if everybody was up.
Oh man, if everybody was up, this would really be live. We've talked about starting a show. We've been streaming a little bit of our gaming and our late nights, but I'm so proud of us. We've been going to bed at 1:30. That's like a win for us.
Oh man!
Because
our first 2 weeks, our first week on this stay in place or stay at home thing.
Shelter
in place, whatever. Whatever. Being stuck at the crib like a little kid, let me out. Man, we were going to bed at 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Well, at first we weren't.
Goodness.
But by our second week, we were going to bed at like 4:30.
Super late. Yeah. Which messed me up because I'm usually getting up around that time.
Yeah.
I was going to bed at that time. It was messing me up.
That was right.
Anyway, so, man, appreciate you guys tuning in, watching.
Wait, last two thoughts.
Oh, last two thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, again, going back to what I was saying earlier about me thinking about what if we didn't have water? What if we didn't have gas? What if we didn't have electric? What would we do? And I'm telling you, I must have thought about it all night because I was like, we'd cut a big old hole in our living room floor, make a fire pit in there, and that's how we'd all stay warm, It was just, it's those apocalyptic thoughts, But then I was putting up laundry last night, and in case many of you haven't known, we have an animal house right now. And so we have quite a few people in our house, and because it's shelter in place, we're just trying to help everybody out. We got a new grandbaby coming. We got, another one of our families are trying to downsize. And instead, it ended up being you and I downsizing, which is fine because we had this huge house just to me and, to ourselves. And we were like just becoming pack rats. So in that cleansing or spring cleaning mode.
Cleansing, I like
that spring cleaning mode. I have realized that we could totally do a tiny house because we fit in one room.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm toting up some stuff and I'm like, do I really need that? No. Do I really need that? I want it, but that doesn't mean I need it. So I'm learning about needs and wants. My closet, I'm proud to say, is half of a closet. And it's always been 2 rows of an entire walk-in closet. So I'm really proud of myself. And I've dropped down to 1 dresser drawer, and I've been getting rid of stuff, haven't I? So far in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten rid of 4 bags of clothes. We're talking 13-gallon trash bags. And if anybody knows me, they know I like clothes. That's why I started 4, not 1, but 4 resale shops.
Yes, there you go.
Now who's hanging on to clothes?
Me, right here.
All right.
I'm working on it.
So I just wanted to say that in this time of stay in place, and I've said this before, get rid of some things. Think about what is a need and what is a want. What is necessary and what is just something you're wanting. You just think you have to hang on to. Listen, for me, memories are a big need for me. I want to be able to see some things that I did before. Like I'm still crying about some of the pictures I lost on that first phone. They were of my first grandchild and everything that that she did when she was little. So now I'm like, yeah, I'll video that, but I'm gonna screenshot that and print that because then I won't have it, and then you end up with all these pictures. But pictures are a legacy as well, so your family can come back and see.
Yeah.
How was that?
Cool.
Okay, good. Awesome. I'm so glad we did live.
That was cool, kind of fun.
That was fun.
We may have to do that again.
All right, I like it.
If we get some votes, leave some comments. Let us know what you think about us going live. We did live a couple of weeks ago, but not with the abilities that we have today. So we have some new tools and stuff, so we can do things different.
Yeah, and I think the shelter in place helped us learn some
forced
new
us to be
tricks.
Innovative.
Innovative. All right.
Well, guys, we see y'all later. Y'all have a good day. If you're watching, we'll talk to you later. If you're watching later.
Later.
Leave us some comments. We talk to you guys later. Y'all be blessed, man. Holler at y'all.
Save your stimulus check.